So we already know that Dodge just dropped the Dodge Charger Daytona SRT Banshee. We know that all electric muscle car. We know that it's a box on wheels. We know that the sound is fake. We know that they skimmed down the Charger from a 4-door to a 2-door. It's pretty much ugly inside and out. We already know that. A lot of you agree with me. But what if this happens to be the most powerful car that Dodge has ever produced? More powerful than any Scat Pack, more powerful than any Hellcat, more powerful than any Dodge Demon. I'm talking 3 power levels, 550, 850. I don't even want to release the third one until we get into the video. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout360 here with another video for you guys. So as you can tell, I'm in the car that makes this a car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So let's talk about it. I'm sitting here reading Mopar Insiders, and Mopar Insiders is pretty much the go-to website for Mopar, you know, nerds and stuff like that, especially like myself. So if you can remember back when they dropped the 2024 Dodge Charger, let me get this right, 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona SRT Banshee. I think I said that right. Or is it SRT Daytona? I don't remember. But the all-electric muscle car that they're going to be dropping, 2-door Dodge Charger, 1 light in the back, 1 light in the front, all-electric muscle car, 2 screens in the inside. The same car that a lot of us said was ugly. The sound, the exhaust sound was fake as fuck. The interior looks basic as hell. It's basically like a Tesla on wheels or whatever the case may be. That car, we were told, was going to come in initially 3 power levels. He didn't say how much each power level would be producing, but he did say 3 power levels. Now let's do a little recap here. So Dodge has produced the most powerful sedan that's ever been released from, you know, the dealership floor in America, which was the Charger in 2015, 707 horsepower, 200 mile per hour monster. Then they went again and produced the fastest, 2-door muscle car ever produced at one time, which was the Dodge Demon, which did the 0 to 60 in is it 3.6 or 2.6 seconds? I think it's 3.6. Beat the NHR or set an NHRA record, all that good stuff. And then they took it to another level and they brought that power down to the Red Eye and then the Jailbreak for the Charger and Challenger. So needless to say, between 807 and 840, those are the most powerful cars that Dodge has ever produced. The Charger, Jailbreak, and the Demon. What if I told you that based on the numbers that are speculated, of course, because this is coming from Mopar Insiders, and they're saying that one of their sources at Dodge told them this. What if the numbers were greater than that, right? This new Charger was more powerful than any Scat Pack in those 3 power levels. More powerful than any Scat Pack ever produced, more powerful than any Hellcat ever produced, and more powerful than any Demon ever produced. Let's talk about it. So I'm sitting here, I'm reading Mopar Insiders, and first things first, one thing that I keep forgetting is that Dodge Charger that we saw was just a concept car. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying that to say nothing about it is official. The car that we saw could be completely different looks-wise, interior and exterior, than what we see on the dealership floor, right? I'm reading Mopar Insiders, and they're saying that the body style and the body lines looks like a sedan, which it really does, because it's like, when you look at the roof area, the body lines of the roof, and then as it goes back into the back, it's almost like it gets cut off kind of short. It looks like it could be a 4-door car, which would insinuate, you know, or imply going back to the Charger or whatever the case may be. Because if they're going to use that name, then the Charger's always been 4 doors to, you know, at least modern day Chargers or whatever. But whatever. They're saying that it's a concept, and more than likely what we saw is not what we will see in the future. But he did mention something specific, and I'm talking about Tim Kuniskis, the Dodge CEO. He said that the electric muscle car would come in 3 power levels, but he did not mention the power. He said that's still patented, it's still under wraps, what have you. And the reason being is because I would imagine until they can solidify what the body of the car is going to look like, with the weight, with the technology, they probably can't give any hard definitive numbers as far as what the power is going to put down. But according to Mopar Insiders, thanks to our sources, we are hearing that Dodge has targeted, right? So once again, it's not official, but this is what they're targeting with the 3 power levels starting from the bottom to the top, basically the Scat, the Hell, and the Demon, modern day. They're targeting 550 horsepower, which is more powerful than a Scat, 850 horsepower, which is more powerful than a Hellcat, and then for the third and final one, 1050 horsepower to be offered right off the showroom floor. And they're saying that the 550 horsepower variant, I don't even know if you can call it horsepower. If it's electric, was that electric power or something like that? Because technically there's no horses under the hood of an electric car. There's nothing under the hood of an electric car, actually. The engine, everything is under the car. But the rear-wheel drive option will be offered in the 550 horsepower variant, which is kind of like your Scat Pack level. And then all-wheel drive will be offered in the 850 and the 1050. So a lot of you guys are thinking 1000 horsepower car, no way in hell. Not necessarily true. Think about the Tesla Plaid. Think about the Lucid Airs that we've been talking about. All of those cars are putting down 1000 horsepower plus, you know? We got to be realistic here with the addition, or maybe the invention, or even just the implementation of electric engines or electric motors or whatever. We're going to be able to take power to a whole nother level, right? We're going to be able to do so much more with muscle cars, with foreign cars, with sports cars, American sports cars, whatever the case may be. We're going to be able to do so much more with cars when we switch over to electric. And that's the caveat. The caveat is that we're leaving behind the cold starts. We're leaving behind the exhaust. We're leaving behind the car shaking and all that stuff, when you're sitting at a light. We're leaving behind all that. We're not leaving, some of the stuff that we're leaving behind isn't all bad either, because we're leaving behind the necessity or the need to be at the gas station 3, 4, 5 times a week. We're leaving behind the $5 gas prices. We're leaving behind the oil changes and the potential of having transmission issues and all that stuff. We're leaving behind a lot of bad things too that we want to leave behind. And we're leaving behind a lot of good things that, we would like to keep going forward with, but unfortunately it's just not going to work that way. But in return, or I guess kind of replacing those things, is we're getting what car guys want the most. We're getting power. We're getting speed. When you look at the Tesla Plaid, honestly, it's an ugly car to me. It's absolutely ugly. The Lucid Airs, they look a little bit better, personally, than the Teslas. But once again, it's still kind of an ugly, big, Lincoln town car looking car on wheels. But the fact that they're able to take those cars 1000 horsepower plus, and they're not running into any sort of emissions issues, no gas guzzlers tax, no, legislative issues that they're having with the Department of Transportation. The fact that they're able to put all that power under the hood of one car and sell it to you, just the average consumer, like you're not licensed to drive 1000 horsepower anything. You're not Lewis Hamilton. You're not Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart. You're none of these people. You're just whoever the hell you are. And you've got 1000 horsepower Dodge Charger in the garage of your car or the garage of your house. The future will be bright if you, embrace it. We're going to have to leave all of this stuff behind. That's just the honest to God truth. I'm realizing it myself. What else did I see? I'm realizing it myself. We're just going to have to leave the future behind. They said that, let's see here. I wanted to mention this to you. Not that this is relevant, but Maserati's got a Gran Turismo Fogler, whatever. That's going to be all-wheel drive, and it's going to put down, they're expecting 2023 Maserati Gran Turismo Fogler prototype. They're expecting it to be putting down almost 1200 horsepower with all-wheel drive. You can't do this with a conventional engine. Technically, you can, but it would be so impractical. You know what I'm saying? 9 miles to the gallon, premium gas only, loud as hell. So many emissions issues that this car would be facing if this is just a standard V8 or V12. But with an electric motor, you can do so much more with these cars. We're going to have to leave the muscle car era behind. Those loud revs, the V8 knocking, all that stuff, we're going to have to leave that behind. But in return, we're getting the power and the speed, the acceleration, that we've always wanted. We've always talked about Dodge putting this power in an all-wheel drive platform. If we could put a Hellcat in an all-wheel drive platform, we would dominate all. It wouldn't matter how heavy our cars were, because we would beat you off the line. Look at the Trackhawks. Trackhawks are 5,000-6,000 pound SUVs, but they're smoking Porsches and they're smoking Lamborghinis off the line because they're all-wheel drive and you're able to put that power down. If the future is as bright as what we're looking at here, 850, 1,000 horsepower in an all-wheel drive platform, we would beat every single thing. And then at that point, it's like, you know, the bar becomes this. The bar is no longer 485 horsepower naturally aspirated engines. The bar becomes 600, 700, 800 plus horsepower, right? Like, we thought 707 was crazy in 2015. 707 is nothing in 2022. Let's be honest here. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. It's still a lot of power. It's more power than my car has. But if you kind of, you know, compare that to what the future holds, it's nothing. 707 rear wheel drive, supercharged V8 is nothing compared to 1,000 horsepower GT, Lucid Air that can smoke you and then keep smoking you all the way to the charger at home. You know, this is the future and we've got to embrace it. But I mean, at the end of the day, let's not act like this is all bad. I mean, 850 horsepower, 1,050 horsepower. Now, granted, targeted is the key word or the operative word in this article. And the reason I say that is because there's nothing official about these numbers. 550, 850, 1,050. There's nothing official about it whatsoever. But you got to be honest with yourself and say that Dodge wouldn't switch over from the conventional 700 plus horsepower Hellcats to an electric platform that was less powerful and expect to be able to sell those cars. Like, nobody's buying a 300 horsepower muscle car. Nobody's buying a 400 horsepower muscle car. Every electric muscle car that they put out has to be more powerful than what Dodge has done in the past, because that's what they told us. They told us that the future was going to be bright for us. So I'm assuming that every electric muscle car, variant, power level, or whatever the case, has to be more powerful than anything that they've ever produced. And at 850 horsepower, anything more powerful than that is wild. We're talking 900, 1,000 horsepower plus. If the Lucid GT is doing 1,000 plus, the Tesla Plaid is doing 1,000 plus, Dodge has to be somewhere in the middle. They have to be there at some point. Because, I mean, what happens is when Dodge does it first, and they do it correctly, and we'll talk about that in a later video, but they do it first and they do it correctly. 1,000 horsepower electric muscle car. Mustang GT 500s, those cars are irrelevant. Chevy Camaro 01, those cars are irrelevant and get smoked easily. C8, mid-engine, twin turbo, whatever the hell they're planning on coming out with. 600, 700, 800 horsepower, those cars are irrelevant. Then those manufacturers are going to have to sit back and say, we've gone as far as we can with conventional engines. We now as well have to switch over to electric power. Because when Dodge came out with the Hellcat in 15, they broke the mold. And then all of a sudden you started to see all these other cars with more power. And everything was like 700 horsepower, 670, 680, always around that Hellcat number. They couldn't, some of those cars weren't as powerful, or wasn't as powerful as the Hellcat, but they were lighter and more agile. Therefore, they would keep up with the Hellcat. So Dodge realizes that they're going to have to do that again, where they're basically going to have to reinvent the wheel and break the mold once again. As far as the American cars are concerned, American performance cars are concerned, American muscle cars, if you want to call that, is concerned, they're going to have to reinvent the wheel. And I believe that they're going to do that with these 850 and 1,000 horsepower power levels that they're coming out with this electric car, potentially. Once again, potentially. Could be less, could be more. But can you imagine a 1,000 horsepower Dodge Charger SRT Banshee coming out in 24? There is absolutely no Hellcat Demon ZR1, ZL1 that's capable of Trackhawk, that's capable of standing up to that. In an all-wheel drive platform too, that's literally everything that we've asked for. We asked for Dodge to give us something to be able to put the power down. They're giving us that. We asked for more power because of the weight of these cars. They're giving that to us as well. We lost a lot of things, don't get me wrong, but if what I'm seeing here is true, what we're getting is much more than that. Now, granted, this is all speculation. I'll put the link to this article in the description, let you guys be the judge of it. But you have to also remember that these are the three base power levels. Your boy Tim stated that Dodge is going to be offering 9 total power levels, including the direct connection power levels. So I would assume your 550 base model SRT Banshee in 2024 is probably going to be able to go up to 657 plus with direct connection. And then if the 1,000 horsepower is correct, we're talking 1,100, 1,200, monster numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's 3 power levels for each base model power level. Well, let me take that back. There's 3 levels that you can upgrade to for each power level. So if there are 9 direct connection power levels total, maybe there's 3 for each one of the base models. Does that make sense? Like the 550 has 3 additional power levels that it can go to, and then the 850 has 3, and then the 1050 has another 3, and then that comprises that 9. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a thing where all of the power levels are included, and it's just what 6 more power levels that you can actually add on to those cars. But either way, we're sacrificing the sound, we're sacrificing the look, we're sacrificing the overall experience of having a V8, but we're getting everything that we asked for. We're getting all-wheel drive, put the power down. We're getting more power because of the weight and size of our cars, which is what we've been asking for since 2015. It's just they had to get rid of the Hemi to do it. I don't know, I'm trying to warm up to this idea. I'm really trying, because with these next 6 limited editions that Dodge is going to be releasing, I got a feeling that they're all just going to be kind of gimmicky. Like, it's just going to be a bunch of stripe packages, Brembo color option packages, graphics package options, interior options. Like, I don't think that any of these 6 editions are really going to be any sort of power upgrades. I think everything will be 6.4 liter 392 or 6.2 liter supercharged Hellcat engine, basically what we've seen. Just different graphics package, you know what I'm saying? Different rim options or different spoiler options. I don't really think it's going to be anything special other than that. Then that 7th car, that's a different story. But these next 6 or next 5 at this point are just going to be kind of gimmicky, to be honest with you. So the fact of the matter is we've got to look towards the future and embrace it. And at 1,000 horsepower, who wouldn't embrace that? More power, and you're giving up the experience and the sound and the gas mileage and all the bad stuff that we hated about our cars. We're getting rid of all that and moving into the future. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of the fact that these electric cars will have more power than any conventional engine. Also be mindful of the fact that the concept car that we saw on the showroom floor last week at Dodge Speed Week is strictly that. It's a concept car. Could look completely and probably will look completely different when it finally hits dealership lots. Right? So with that being said, talk to me, guys. How do you feel about it? Are you okay giving up the V8 experience for more power? That's the ultimate question. Are you okay giving up the V8 experience, the sound, the shaking, the head turning sounds and all that stuff? Are you comfortable giving that up for what we've always asked for? More performance, better handling, more power. It's your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.